Hello, everybody. Welcome to Collab Investments. Today, let's discuss some methods that allow you to park your money for the short to mid-term so that you can use the money for some other purpose. Basically, you don't allow the money to lose principal. For example, if you are saving money to pay a large amount of tuition or buy your first house, buy your first car. So let's first look at the different income tax rate of income types, because the tax rate can be very different. So the most common one is called interest, and also the short-term capital gain tax. Both have the same tax rate. And for the federal tax, it can be up to 40.8%. If you live in California, you could pay up to 13.3%. So the total can be up to 54.1%. If you are getting interest or short-term capital gain tax, you need to give more than half to the government. Another type is called long-term capital gain tax. If you are holding the equity for more than a year, and it has a lower tax. So for federal, it is 23.8%. For California, it is up to 13.3%. So the total is 37.1%. And there's another type called Section 1256 contracts. If you use SPX options to do short box, those are Section 1256 contracts. And they have special tax treatment. So 60% of the gain is considered long-term and 40% is considered short-term. That means the overall tax rate for California residents is 43.9%. And also, for this kind of contracts, there's no wash sale rule, and you have to mark to market at the end of the year, which means even if you're not selling, they will use the year-end price to calculate the gain or loss. Okay, so given this different income tax rate, let's look at what kind of methods you can use to park your money. The easiest one is to use money market. With money market, the principal is safe, and you would get some interest. It also has good flexibility, which means whenever you want to withdraw the money, you can. But it has a very high tax rate, 54.1% in California. So a typical money market rate today, which is end of October 2025, is 4.1%. And you calculate based on the tax. After tax, it's less than 2%. It's 1.88%. Or if you buy treasury bill, you could buy months out, 2 months, 6 months, and so on. And the flexibility is not as good as the money market, but it's good enough. And the treasury bill, total tax is only the federal tax, so it's up to 40.8%. With the current federal rate, the after-tax rate is 2.4%. So there's another method called BOXX ETF. So basically, it uses long box. You buy the ETF, that ETF will buy the long box for you. And later when you sell, the ETF will increase in value and you pay tax on the gain. So its principle is also safe, and its flexibility is very good because you can sell it on any day. But the tax rate is about 43.9% because that's the Section 1256 contract. So based on the current rate, 4.36, the after-tax rate is also about 2.4%. Or you could do the long box yourself, just reverse how we did the short box to borrow money. Use a long box, you can lend money to other people. It's safe and the flexibility is okay. The tax rate, because it is Section 1256 contracts, is 43.9%. The current rate is roughly the treasury bill plus a percentage. For short term, it could be about 0.5% higher. So the after-tax rate is about 2.56%, slightly higher. But if you want an easy to operate method, just use a BOXX ETF. So there's also the tax-exempt bond, for example, VWLTX. But the main problem of it is it doesn't give you safety on your principal. It has good flexibility, but you may lose principal. So although it has low tax and reasonably high after-tax rate, because you can lose principal, it's not a good method to hold for short term. Another method is called buffered ETF, for example, the MAXJ. And it is safe because it provides 100% downside protection. So that means it tracks the S&P 500 index. But if the index goes down, the principal of the ETF will stay the same. Its flexibility is okay, but ideally you want to hold it for a year. If you sell it in the middle of the year, it may not give you the guarantee. So it has a per cap, and that cap change depends on the interest rate. So right now, the upper cap is about 7.13%. And after you deduct the long-term capital gain tax, it's 4.48%. So this is assuming you are holding it for more than 1 year. So there are many different methods to park your money in short to mid-term. And you can see their after-tax rate is very low. So if you're holding money the short term, pick any of the methods except the tax-exempt bond. Those are okay. But if you're holding them for a longer term, then you may lose a lot of opportunity cost because if you invest in US broad market index, you may get much bigger gain. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.